Well, the LA County Sheriff's Department is providing new details about a controversial shooting over the weekend. Authorities say the black man who was fatally shot by deputies kept holding a gun as he lay dying on the ground. That's why they continued firing 33 times in all. At 28-year-old Nicholas Robertson, they had repeatedly told him to put down the weapon, but he refused. When he walked toward a crowded gas station, that's when they fired.
If he goes into that gas station, either takes hostages or shoots somebody, we're going to be having a different topic. We're going to be talking about, like, why didn't the police officers do something before he went into that?
Robertson's family gathered at that gas station yesterday demanding justice. Sheriff's officials say there's no evidence that he fired at deputies. His widow says when Robertson drank, he acted more like a child.
We begin in South LA, where the Sheriff's Department is investigating the police shooting death of a 28-year-old man. Officials say he motioned towards the deputies with his gun before they opened fire on him. The issue here is whether the officers were justified in firing 33 rounds. Community activists and the man's family say the killing was unjustified, and they are calling for the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate. More now from Al Jazeera's BC O'Neill-Erie.
They are images that feel eerily familiar. Sheriff's deputies in Los Angeles caught by a bystander's cell phone during a deadly encounter. The victim was 28-year-old Nicholas Robertson, an African-American. His death already sparking outrage, with activists taking to social media, calling for justice, and family members asking why.
You can see him on the video that he's crawling away, and they still just shooting.
At a press conference Sunday, the Sheriff's Department said deputies responded to multiple calls in the minutes leading up to the encounter, reporting Robertson was roaming the area with a firearm, acting erratically.
We have 6 911 calls that were received from other businesses and residences in the immediate area. Not only was he armed, but had actually discharged the firearm several times.
Deputies say they yelled for Robertson to put the weapon down, but he ignored them.
There are 2 people, 2 women, and 3 children in a car at a gas pump that is within 5 feet of him at the time. And actually, we've interviewed those witnesses, and they expressed grave concern that they believe the suspect was actually going to shoot them.
According to authorities, the 2 deputies fired a total of 33 shots. They have both been reassigned pending the investigation. Among the questions left to answer, say investigators, is why Robertson was acting so agitated.
We're not sure if it's because of circumstances or there may be a drug nexus to it as well.
Area activists Sunday called for a thorough investigation.
Everyone is concerned because it appears to us that a black man once again was shot and killed by law enforcement.
But also urged patience and calm.
Let the investigation take its course, and wherever it takes us and leads us to, that's where we'll go. So we're asking people, don't make a decision based on a 10-second clip of a cell phone video that's on the news.
BC O'Neill-Erie, Al Jazeera, New York.
Earlier, we spoke with former Police Lieutenant Vincent Hill. He believes the shooting was justified and that the victim's family does not have a case against the department.
They don't know if the gun was loaded. All they know is a gun. Guns kill. They kill, they maim, they hurt. So for an officer to say, well, maybe the gun is not loaded, maybe it is loaded, they had no idea. They had a 911 call of a man with the gun, and they acted accordingly to policy, to training, and to use of force continuum. Police are trained to eliminate the threat. Now, eliminating the threat doesn't mean the threat is down. That means the threat has stopped. So when you're dealing with an armed suspect that has a loaded gun that has been firing at people that could easily turn to the officers and fire at any time, they were justified in what they did. They don't want the next Chicago or the next Baltimore or the next Ferguson. So transparency is key when you're dealing with cases like this.
Police asking witnesses to come forward with any additional footage or testimony of the shooting to complete the investigation.
I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism.